many years, I had a love affair with the psychoanalyst Jacques Lacan. And it probably started in 1971 when Jacques started to give the private salons, discussions of cases in his flat, but simply that time would never let me in. So in 72, the seminars became public, and of course in a way that made the relationship more complicated because there were so many other people in the room, and I just had to listen very, very attentively to what Jacques was telling me. And I'm going to read the latest edits from the long history of our correspondence. Envoi 3, letters from GL to SK, 1955 to 1956. The earlier 2 years were really much easier because the first was just all technique. And the second year we were coming to other kinds of constructions in analysis. This year was particularly sorry, you can see it, I'm finding this. And because of time, I probably won't read the whole year. So, Envoi, 16th November. This year the question begins. I say the question because one can't speak straight away. It's not by chance I initially gave what we shall finish with. What has been done is done. Jacques often used this kind of expression repeatedly. Let us say it was a lapsus, a significant lapsus, but then everything was significant with Jacques. It might take us a long time, but it will remain just below the... I don't know why you're laughing. It will remain just below the surface of our approach. It's a question of psychology. I tried to promote another view. It's false to imagine that the sense in the question is what we understood. This is pure mirage. Sadness is a passion of quite another colour. I would like to insist on this. There are many other ways of responding than by crying. He did say that. Understanding is evoked only as an ideal relation. I think you are by now capable of grasping it. There you have an order of real relations, but one must go a little bit further. It's not as natural as all that. Make no mistake, it's not a pure experience. Don't think we are so far removed from this. No one has ever seen this before. Be careful. Why was this year so difficult? Well, it was the year he's reading to us the case of Schreiber, Daniel Schreiber, the judge who believes he's a woman fucked by God. And of course I could identify with that completely. 2, 23rd November. No notion in the end is more paradoxical. These reminders aren't useless. Let us remain at the level of definitions. There are always surges and phrases. It was I who introduced the notion of the fertile moment. It was touch and go. Begin by thinking that you don't understand. We feel that we are within reach of understanding. How do you know? What was loss and disadvantage at one instant became happiness bestowed by the gods a moment later. I already pointed this out to you last time. You know how long it took to perceive. What is more tempting than to think this corresponds to the tingling of a zone itself called sensory? Everything is there. I have recommended that you reserve the greatest suppleness. 3, 30th November. Before we become too satisfied with this overall arrangement, you think you're dealing with someone who's communicating with you because he speaks the same language as you. And obviously we didn't. He's French and I'm English. But we understood a certain je ne sais quoi. You get the feeling that here is someone who has penetrated, yes. I was trying to make you feel comfortable. You can never say that this is what is being designated there. The word is the soul of the situation. It's what we might call the refrain. You must touch upon the inadequacy. I didn't. It's what we might call the... Oh, I've done that. What is an issue is the sign of hasty thoughts, of repentance. One absolves oneself, one pays one's debts. This is so far from being straightforward that it leads immediately into an endless play of mirrors. You are my woman, which means you are what is still within my speech. And this I can only affirm by speaking in your place. This comes from you to find the certainty of what I pledge. This speech is speech that commits you. We shall, if you like, write. You are my woman. After all, what do you know about it? I can't repeat all I once said. It's not for nothing that in Latin testimony is called testes, and one testifies in one's balls. You must be able to tell the difference. You have to have already admitted, you love me. You see the questions that remain open. Perhaps what I said this morning will give you some indication and utterance of testimony, the brute recognition of a fact. You can imagine how difficult it was to be in a room with more people than you, and to be addressed in this way.